Well, welcome everybody. This is Maggio from Wacom Technology, and I am so glad that you could join us here today. Whether it be morning where you are or evening, depending on where you're at in the world, we're extremely excited because we've introduced a number of new products today, but the reason why you're here is to learn about the new Bamboo Spark. Bamboo Spark is a revolutionary new product for Wacom. We're expanding on our already popular Bamboo product line to incorporate not only a pen-type device, but also what we call a smart folio. And that's exactly what Bamboo Spark is. It is a smart folio that enables you to digitally capture your ideas while you write with traditional pen on paper. With a traditional push of a button, I should say, with a push of a button, your handwritten notes are then transferred to the Bamboo Spark app on your smartphone or tablet. From there, you can share it. You can sync it with the Wacom Cloud to easily access your ideas on other devices. You can share it with friends, with colleagues, your concepts via email, for example, text, photos. You can upload those notes to popular platforms such as Evernote, Dropbox, Google Drive, and of course then you can edit those thoughts using apps on your tablet. So like a lot of things with Wacom, what we do is we provide a lot of heavy research and help people understand and try to understand exactly what they're looking for. And what we do with Bamboo Spark is we enable you to capture your thoughts, shape your ideas, and then share those again with your colleagues. How did we come about with Spark? Well, again, like a lot of products with Wacom, we go through a heavy stage of product research and market research, and we try to understand what our customers are looking for. And what that research showed us was that heavy to moderate note takers and ideators spoke to their appreciation for pen and paper, and they liked the freedom that it provided them to develop their notes and thoughts. But at the same time, they also understood that capturing ideas digitally was a much more convenient way to structure them, to share them, to categorize them, keep them organized. But what we found was that organization is a very huge part of it, and at the same time, the way in which people take those notes is important. By taking notes by hand, there's a visual process that's there. They're able to listen to what's going on in the room that they're taking notes in, and at the same time, as they write out those notes, they can categorize their thoughts. They can organize their thoughts and retain that information much better. So there's kind of a three-part process there. The way in which they take those notes, the way they organize them on the piece of paper, and at the same time, understanding what's going on in the room. All of those things helped us understand what it was that the customer was looking for, and Bamboo Spark offers that to them. So how exactly does this thing work? Well, Bamboo Spark marries the familiar, and as I said before, kind of the much-loved pen-on-paper experience, and it utilizes Wacom's core digital pen technology in this smart folio. The product allows you to write and sketch with Bamboo Spark's traditional ink pen on most A5, or roughly 6 by 8 inch paper. Inside the smart folio is Wacom's patented EMR, or electromagnetic resonance sensor board. And not to get too complicated there, but basically what that allows you to do is it communicates with the Bamboo Spark pen, and that utilizes the same technology that's found in Wacom's branded professional products. This technology offers an amazingly accurate digital form of input. Now, what's written in ink is simultaneously captured digitally and then stored within the smart folio. Ideas are then transferred automatically to your smartphone or tablet device via Bluetooth, and if you choose, you can upload those to the Wacom Cloud, or what we call InkSpace. From there, using your smartphone or your tablet, you can access your ideas via the Bamboo Spark application, where then you can share it, you can do some light editing on it, you can open it in your notes, or even a more robust application such as Bamboo Paper. So essentially, Bamboo Spark and the Spark application allows you to sync your information, edit it with Bamboo Paper or other applications, upload it to popular platforms such as Evernote, Dropbox, Google Drive, or as I said before, you can share that information via email, through iBooks, through text messaging, basically any form of app you have on your tablet or smartphone device. Bamboo Spark is going to be available very shortly. It's being announced today for the very first time, and it comes in 3 different models. You'll be able to find all 3 models in roughly 2 weeks on the Wacom eStore, and then shortly thereafter in a number of other outlets. The 3 different models that are available are fairly similar, but with slightly different ways in travel in mind. So you have the Bamboo Spark with the gadget pocket, and this is designed to carry a smartphone, notes, business cards, additional paper, for example. Then you have the Bamboo Spark with the Gadget Pocket. Now this is the one I'm going to be using here today. This one, actually that didn't transfer there. There we go, there's my slide. Next you have the Bamboo Spark with the tablet sleeve. This sleeve will enable you to put a phablet or a smaller tablet inside the sleeve itself, and also gives you more room for additional paper and of course your pen right there in the center. Finally, we have a model that is designed specifically with an iPad Air 2 in mind. It's what we call the Snap Fit case, and it allows you to literally snap the iPad right there next to your pad of paper so that you can have both of them handy. So that's kind of a brief look at the Bamboo Spark itself. What I'd like to do is kind of transition a little bit and go over to a little bit of a product demonstration. And for that, I'm going to turn my screen off here, and I'm going to turn on my camera so we can take a look at this. There we go. Now you should see my camera there. Perfect. All right, let me grab the Bamboo Spark here. So in lieu of a unboxing, I've got a couple things I'm just going to show you here. I've kind of taken it out of the box for the purposes of time, but the Bamboo Spark application, as I said, comes available in 3 different models, and you'll be able to get that in just a couple of weeks on the Wacom eStore. And this is basically what you get. Within the Bamboo Spark box, you have the tablet itself, or I should say the folio itself, that is right here, and we'll go through that in just a moment. And then inside the box, you've got a quick start guide. We'll just kind of open this up for you. You've got your quick start guide to help you get started. You've got the USB cable to charge your Bamboo Spark, and we'll walk through that. As I said, the quick start guide. And then also some additional pen tips or pen inserts right here, as well as a puller. All right, let's go ahead and put that aside, and we'll take a look at the Smart Folio. So here's my Bamboo Spark, and hopefully this isn't blowing out this the lighting in my office here. But the Bamboo Spark folio itself is fairly straightforward. You've got a nice neoprene case right here, little closure. We're going to open. I'll open this up for you here. This is the gadget sleeve, as I mentioned before. If you've got a small tablet, or if you've got a a smartphone or what have you, you can put extra papers in here, or notes or business cards. I'm going to place this on the side. You've got the pen itself. This is a ballpoint pen. This is the Bamboo stylus for the Bamboo Spark. I'm going to go ahead and drop this right in here. And of course, you have the A5 paper that I mentioned. Your Bamboo Spark is going to come with one pad of paper with 50 sheets in it. You can purchase additional pads of paper at the Wacom website. But again, this Smart Folio fits A5 size paper. That's roughly 6 inches by 8 inches, and that simply slides right into the sleeve there, holding it in place. Now, the unique thing about the Bamboo Spark is that it incorporates, as I mentioned before, Wacom's patented sensor board technology, and that basically sits behind the pad of paper itself, and that enables you to simultaneously capture your pen input, your pen on paper, or your ink on paper input, as well as a digital version that you can then open up on your smartphone or your tablet, or again, you can send that up to the Wacom Cloud, where you can access it on other devices. We're going to walk through that in just a few moments. Now, you can use the Bamboo Spark folio itself and the pad of paper without a smartphone or a tablet, if you will. You can still upload that and access it from your laptop or your computer. But at the same time, if you do have a tablet, you can pair your Smart Folio with your tablet. And I'm going to show you that in a few moments here, once we've kind of created a little bit of a drawing. From there, you can open it up on your iPad or Android device and share it, export it, and send it out to different places. All right, let's go ahead and just take a look at a couple other things here. Now, I had already charged my Bamboo Spark a little bit earlier, but I used the standard USB cable here, and that plugs in right up here at the top. I don't know if that's going to show you right there. Yeah, you can see that. You can just plug it right in there. It takes about 8 hours to charge with an initial charge, and then you're going, it takes about 2.5 hours to charge, and then you get about 8 hours of continuous use. And by continuous use, I mean the unit is on, you're drawing, you're taking notes over the course of a full day. All right, once you have the folio out, you're ready to go, all you do is turn it on by flipping this little switch right down here. I'm going to turn that unit on. Give it just a second, and you should be able to see that. Once the little green light is illuminated, Bamboo Spark is ready to be drawn on. So I'm going to take my pen, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around. I can show it to you upside down. I probably can't take notes very well upside down, though. I'm just going to go ahead and open up my pad right here. We'll just slide this under here. And we'll just go ahead and take a little test note. And this is the Bamboo Spark Google Hangout. And this is just, again, as I said, this is pen on paper, standard ballpoint pen within, standard ballpoint pen insert within the Bamboo Spark pen. And let's see here, we'll just write Hangout. And I'm just going to sketch out kind of a little bit of an idea here. We're going to, just a little something, kind of give us a little bit of a graphic. There we go. There. So now once I've kind of sketched this out or drawn or written out some notes here, if I wanted to flip a page, all I'd have to do is hit the button right here in the center of my Spark. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but the color of the button, the color of the light had changed from its original green light to blue once I started to take notes on the pad itself. When I'm done, I click that button and it's done two things. One, it's essentially flipped the page, indicating that I've got a new page if I wanted to, or I can start drawing or writing out anywhere else, and we can create additional thoughts. I'll just kind of write out a few more things here, and I'll just say additional thoughts, and have to conclude with a smiley face right there. So I've got that, and I'm going to go ahead and press that pen or that button one more time, and what that did was gave me a new page, and simultaneously what it did was it's the notes that I had to my iPad. And again, it's I had previously paired my Bamboo Spark folio with my iPad. All right, so let's assume that we're done here, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I don't have to turn it off. The unit will turn off by itself if left dormant or no writing has taken place for 15 minutes or so. But I'm just going to close this up for the moment, and I'm going to reach over here and I'm going to grab my iPad and take a look and see what we've got. Set that on the side. All right, so we've got our iPad here, and as I mentioned before, I had previously paired this, and I'm going to open up the Bamboo Spark app. Now, you're going to get the Bamboo Spark app from the App Store or the Google Play Store. Let's go back over there, and we'll get out of here. There we go, and I'm hoping this is going to show up there. This is probably going to blow out my camera adjusts for lighting, and because it's a white screen, it may or may not show you that. If I can hold it just the right way, it might. Let me go ahead and open up the first drawing. You know what? I'm going to hold it on an angle, and it's probably not going to. It's not exactly the ideal thing for you guys to see that there. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm actually going to. I'm going to sync this with my Wacom Cloud account, and I'm going to show you that online so that you can see that. And we'll kind of compare the drawing from my Bamboo Spark with what we see on the screen itself. Let me see if I can hold that up to the camera in such a way that it might, if I block the light from the window. There you go. So not exactly ideal necessarily for you to see that there, but we'll go ahead and back out of that. I'm going to go back to library for a moment, and I'm going to tap on the second page, and that was that where I wrote that additional thoughts, and you can kind of see that down there like that. All right, so what I had done was I had synced it with my Wacom Cloud account. When I opened it up, and I'll open up this screen here. Again, you know what, you're not going to be able to see that, so we'll kind of set that aside. So basically what I've done is I've sketched something out on the pad within my Bamboo Spark folio. I've synced it with my iPad, and this could have been an Android device as well, and it simultaneously was sent up to the cloud. Now, we'll set this aside for now, and we're going to go over to our Wacom Cloud account, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment, or stop sharing my camera and go over to my screen. There we go. And I'm going to jump over to my browser. And we're just going to go to Wacom, or excuse me, cloud.wacom.com. Now I've already created an account, so I'm not going to click sign up. I'm just going to go ahead and click login. And let me just kind of peek over here. Just want to make sure that you guys are in fact seeing that. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And then you'll see the two different applications that you have available. Right now we have Drop Zone and Inkspace available. Inkspace is essentially the area in which you are going to sync the drawings or notes that you've created with your Bamboo Spark. Clicking on that, it's going to show me my notes. There was a previous note. And perhaps I didn't. I think this might have been from before. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to back out of this for a second. I'm actually going to go over to the Bamboo Paper application. I'm going to open them up within Bamboo Paper. And again, you guys can't see that necessarily, but as I open up into Bamboo Paper, I'm going to export to the Wacom Cloud from there. Let's see if that enables it to show up. Okay, so we should be up there now. And there we go. Okay, so that was user on my part. Here's my drawing right there, and you guys should be able to see that. So there's our Bamboo Spark Google Hangout note. And then if we wanted to share this, we can go ahead and export from here. We could save it as a PDF or as a PNG format. It says as images, but that's actually a PNG format. And we'll go ahead and save that as a PDF. And I'm going to export it. It's going to download it to my desktop or to my downloads folder. And we'll go ahead and open it up. And now we have it in Acrobat right there. Again, if you saved it as a PDF or as a PNG, as an image format, you can go ahead and edit in any application that supports PNG. There we go. Okay, so I'm sorry that didn't show up in my camera view. I was hoping that that wasn't going to blow out there, but apparently it did. So if we back out of this, let's see here. I saw a couple questions come in, and I'm going to back out of this for a moment. And we're going to go back over here. I only exported the first page. If you recall, when I was within the Bamboo Spark folio, I clicked the center button that enabled me to create a new page. I didn't export that one out of Bamboo Paper, so I don't have that other one there. But I'm going to go back over to my camera view and take a look at that folio so you can compare that. So take a look at the drawing or the sketch or note that's on screen. I'm going to open up my folio and change my camera view. And we're going to stop that and open up the camera. There we go. And then we'll flip our drawing back over and you can see that right on our pad. So again, Bamboo Spark enables you to simultaneously capture the ink on paper, note, as well as simultaneously digitize it so that you can share it, edit, export it with colleagues or friends. Pretty straightforward process, and I think this is going to be very popular for everyone from on-the-go note takers, being professionals, college students, casual hobbyists, those that want to keep notes on the go and pair it with their smartphone or their tablet. All right, my good buddy Joe is in the background taking some questions here. We've got just a couple of minutes before we wrap up today, and we'll go ahead and open the floor for those questions if Joe hasn't already answered them in the background. Let's see here. I'm going to open up my notes. Let's see what we got here. Does the Bamboo Spark come in different colors or just gray? At the moment, the gray folio is the only color available. Excellent question. And A5, that is roughly 6 by 8 inches. I forget exactly what that is. I think it's more like 5.78 by 6.8 by 9.4 inches. When is Bamboo Spark going to be available? You'll be able to get Bamboo Spark in just about 2 weeks at the Wacom eStore, and then later on you'll be able to get that in additional outlets there. Can you pair the Bamboo Spark with your Mac or PC? No, not directly at this time. It's designed to be paired with either a iOS or Android device for the moment. How many pages does the Bamboo Spark hold? The sensor board itself will detect through roughly 1/4 of an inch or a couple of millimeters there. We typically recommend about 50 pages. We've seen it hold a few more than that, but 50 pages is what we typically quote. and you can hold up to 100 pages of notes, 100 A5 pages of notes within the memory within the Bamboo Spark. All right, well, we got a lot of those questions answered in the background already. If there's no additional questions, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to point everybody to the Wacom website where you can learn more about the Bamboo Spark tablet along with the number of other products that Wacom announced today. So I thank you very much for joining, guys. I hope you had a good insight into what the Bamboo Spark can do for you, and we look forward to seeing you at another Hangout.